Okay, teacher very explaining.
Era 4.0 kan, 4IR ni kita memang
boleh ya? Boleh? Tak ada di sini.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, professors, doctors, sisters, brothers, for joining again our e-learning clinic session, for joining us in e-learning clinic session. So this morning, the title would be composing a graded lesson in iTaleem using YouTube. Alhamdulillah, Dr. Feham, I think we are all familiar with Dr. Feham. He's actually the initiator of iTaleem. So Alhamdulillah, we have him today. He knows iTaleem inside out. And this session, as usual, I would like to remind if everyone could please mute your microphone during the presentation, and the microphone, the active microphone is only the speaker's microphone, so that those who joining us from YouTube can also listen to the presentations properly, because it will be recorded. Okay. Okay, so to add the barakah to our session, let's start with Al-Fatiha. All right. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Barakallahu fikum. And let's start with the presentation from Dr. Feham. Dr. Feham, are you here already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. All right, Dr. Feham, the session is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mira. Okay, I would now share my screen. Dr. Mira, could you please give me access to screen share?
Yes, Doctor, you are a host now, so you should be able to share the screen.
Could you please resign me as a host once again, because I logged out just now and then logged in.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Okay.
Due to a reason.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Should be able now. Okay.
So all of you see my screen?
We only see the. Yep. Now we can see your screen.
Okay. There you go. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you, Sister Dr. Mira, as the organizer CPD for this initiative, trainings for the offering kind of trainings in using tools for e-learning purposes. And I would like to also welcome all participants in this trainings. Well, since yesterday, I'm quite surprised, because we have big number of participants in this training. So normally we have less than 100, or maybe a couple of 50, 60. But now we have over 200 participants. which at the same time make me nervous. So pardon me if I'm I mean some of the information wrongly stated, or maybe well, I will still also guide from all of you. So thank you very much again for coming in this training. I would rather call it as sharing session rather than training, because some of you maybe know better than me, okay, in the in the subject matter that I want to share with you today. Okay, so back to our business, which is composing a graded lesson in iTaleem using YouTube. So there are certain jargon here. Say, for example, for some of you who are not from IIUM, so maybe you are wondering what is iTaleem. Okay, so iTaleem is actually the platform, okay, for IIUM e-learning platform, which has been developed a couple of years back, and it is a platform which is based on the open source platform called Moodle. And I believe this platform has been used commonly among the all Malaysian local IPTAs, not only local but also abroad. Okay, so we have even not only high institution but secondary and primary level, they are also using Moodle as their e-learning platform. And the beautiful about this platform is that it is integrated with the student data for enrollment as well as courses. So we have all the courses synchronized with the system, and we also have all the student registration synchronized with the system along with the course registrations. So all the data that we have in the student database, we have that also, the selected data, we have the data also synchronized in our e-learning platform. So student need not to do registration, student need not to do register some of the courses in the e-learning platform, because it's been synchronized with the university database for registration of courses and enrollment of candidature in the university. So that is iTaleem. Okay, this is iTaleem. And I believe that for some universities like UM, they call it Spectrum. For others, they call it different names. For USIM, they call it Gold or something, and different other IPTAs. Okay, so what is lesson? Okay, so what is lesson, quote unquote? Okay, so lesson is actually one of the module in the e-learning platform, which has been based on Moodle. Okay, there are several other modules available in iTaleem, in Moodle-based e-learning platform. Say, for example, we have assignment module, we have a forum module, we have several others like survey module, quiz module, and wiki module, and so on and so forth. Some of those modules activated by the administrator of e-learning platform, and some of and some of those are yet to be activated and even disabled by the administrator of the e-learning platform for reasons. Okay, so that's the whole idea about what even the main subject that I want to share with you, which is lesson module of the e-learning platform, common to all LMS, learning management system of the university, used as an official e-learning system managing e-courses or distribution of or sharing of materials online across all universities commonly. So what is actually this lesson module? It is actually the combination series of, we call it pages. Okay, we call it pages, which is actually HTML pages. when we call HTML pages, so it can consist of many elements, in particular multimedia elements. You can include in the page, okay? For instance, you can include in the page audio, you can include video, you can include even text, of course, picture, and so on and so forth, multimedia elements. So this is the nature of HTML, because that's actually what is HTML is all about. Okay, it can consist of many multimedia element inside, and then there are I mean all those pages interconnected one another. Okay, that's the nature of lesson. And what is the role of the learner here? So the learner can navigate, okay, through the content, okay, through the content that we call lesson, consists of HTML, series of HTML pages, and then navigate from the beginning up till the end in what so-called lesson. So it is up to us how we compose, how we design the lesson using, we call it series of HTML pages just now. But for the current session, I'll be talking about how you can utilize YouTube for that purpose. Okay. So to be precise, how you can utilize YouTube and put YouTube video on that HTML page, and then so that you can create activity, lesson activity to your students. Okay, to your students. And the good thing about lesson is that the idea is that you have to distribute your content into chunks, into several parts, which is good because online learning, well, research have shown that online learning need activities to be integrated inside, so that student attention and engagement can be prolonged. Okay, I think you have heard that the attention of student attention easily distracted while they are using online learning as a means for acquiring knowledge. Some of the researcher stated that maybe a couple of minutes, even less than 10 minutes. Some of them even, I mean, quite recently, even less than 1 minute, the distraction happened. So the idea of distributing or dividing your lesson into parts, into chunks, is what is lesson module is all about. So I think this can be utilized while the student, gaining the materials, or maybe experiencing the content. At the same time, there are activities. Okay, there are activities that you you integrate or organize while student having or experiencing the lesson itself. Okay, so what is good about lesson? How it can be used? Lesson can be as simple as possible. This is what I'm going to share with you today. Or lesson can be as difficult as possible. I mean, as complicated as possible. Okay, so it can be up to the extreme end of complication, or it can be at extreme end of simplicity. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to use the lesson module in the LMS, in the Moodle based LMS. I'll be sharing with you iTaleem, which is our university e-learning platform, later after this. So it can be used for individualized content. You can prepare a content which suit the student needs. Those who want to do the material at the easiest level, they can do so. Those who want to do the material at elementary level, at intermediate level, or maybe at advanced level, you can arrange the content accordingly. But you have to do that. You have to do the arrangement of content, and then you utilize lesson module as a tool. Okay. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, you can establish kind of like problem solving scenario. Okay, and then every single time student need to answer something which will guide the student to different track or path, learning path. Okay, so it's kind of like a journey. Okay, and in the end, student will be able to solve the learning problem. Okay, the learning problem. There's another possibility of how you can use lesson module. Another use of lesson module is that you can create branching. Maybe some of you familiar here with well, all of these points actually related to what we the so-called adaptive learning. Okay, learning which accommodate the student needs, skills that they have, and background. Okay, so branching capabilities is actually will guide student to explore further. It can initiate, it can portray the environment of discovery learning. Okay, you can create multiple tracks. You can create branching in your content, which will guide student to different parts. Okay, especially for those who need your assistance. Okay, for remediation, for instance, so you can guide student. If the student is too weak, then they will go to this path, which will present basic information in order to strengthen the student skill and be familiar with the content. For those who are, say, for example, skillful, then they will go to different paths, and the content would be slightly, different and maybe complicated in comparison with the one who are from the weak students. It can be that way. Okay, or you can create kind of like a game. Okay, it can be it can serve that purpose as well, where you limit, for instance, after certain points, student can proceed. If the student couldn't reach that point, then he will stop there and then finish the lesson. So it's like levels. Okay, like levels. Student may reach to level out of 10. Student can reach to level 4, 5, or for excellent student, they can reach up to level 9 and even finish the content academically. So that's the whole idea, which is very from that perspective, this is very powerful lesson module here that you can be utilized in many forms. But for the current session, I can share with you, I'm yet to even, I know some of the basics of lesson module, but so I want to share things that I know with all of you. Okay, so you'll be going the simplest way of using lesson module. Just linear content, present content in a linear form, and then later after that we will go for every single station there is an activity that will present the activity to our student to be completed. It is maybe as simple as a question, yes, no, or maybe a multiple choice question, or as complicated as more than that. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to design that activity. I'll present you the possibilities, so it's up to you how you can utilize the possibility to move or to expand more. Okay, so the basic things. Okay, so the basic things only I want to share with you for this session. So next, so this is step-by-step instruction that we will go through. The first that we are going to do is we want to find the YouTube video. Well, of course, from the YouTube website. Okay, and then we have to do kind of preparation for the video, for the YouTube video. That will be the first step that we're going to do today. The second step, we will provide the flow chart. Okay, so talking about lesson module, you have to plan. Okay, you have to plan. By hook or by crook, you have to do planning, or else your lesson module will be like haywire. You do not know where to go and where to jump and what is the accurate navigation for the students. So you have to plan. You have to plan well in order to present the lesson to your students. Okay, I stated earlier that it is graded lesson, so I will show you where the indicator stating that it is graded lesson. So I will show you where the settings indicating that it is graded lesson. It can be non-graded lessons. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to design this content to your student. And the last step is that how, okay, to do the design using lesson activity. This is lesson module inside your LMS, inside your e-learning platform. Here I'll be focusing on iTaleem. For those who are, from the local institution, as I mentioned earlier, most of the LMS used by the local institutions based on Moodle, which is similar to ours, iTaleem. We also base our LMS on Moodle, open source LMS. Okay, that will be the last step. Okay, inshallah. So we go to the first one, preparation of YouTube video. Okay, it can be in two ways. Okay, it can be in two ways. You can do the preparation by producing the video and then share the video online on YouTube. Okay, that's the normally some of us do. Even did. Okay, so producing the video using different tools. Okay, you can use PowerPoint, you can use Screen-O-Matic, you can use Camtasia, you can use APowerSoft, I think. So APowerSoft. So you can produce your own. Okay, the video. The length of the video normally it's not that long, couple of minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, advisable, or maybe to the maximum of 15 to 10 minutes. So the shorter, I would say about 5 minutes is the better. Okay, you can go up to 15 minutes, but if the video exceed more than that, like half an hour, even 40 minutes and beyond, if beyond half an hour, that is not effective, where you have to do the chunking later. Okay, so that's the first option. Okay, for your video. Then later you have to share the output of your videos online using YouTube. Okay, so that's the first option of how you can utilize from YouTube content. Okay, which is actually your own, or from which is actually your own, the one that you produce the videos by yourself. Another option is that you do the selection. Okay, you select whatever materials, whatever videos available on YouTube. Okay, you go to YouTube and you search, okay, using keywords. What are videos related to the content of related to your teaching content? Okay, if that is the case, there are more than, there are possibilities that the video might be that long. Okay, the video might not fulfill your needs. The video need to be adjust a little bit so that you can focus certain parts of the video, not all. Okay, so selecting video, you can select the video as it is, which is sometimes horrible because the content is not actually fulfill your needs. So there are in many cases this is what actually happening. Okay, so for that reason we have different tools in order to cater the content of the video so that it fulfills your needs. Okay, so we have, say for example, YouTube trimmer. Okay, you have YT cropper. Okay, you have VB. Okay, in order to select the video, and then after you have decided the YouTube video that you want to use, you focus on certain section of the video rather than the whole content. Okay, so it can be done that way. Okay, so you do selection of the video content. So what I'm going to do today is that I will select like one YouTube video and then divide that content into several parts. Okay, into several parts using a tool called VB. Okay, using a tool called VB. So that's the first step that we going to do. Okay. The second step is that you have to do the planning. Okay, you have to do the planning. So the planning is as simple as I have here. Okay, we start from beginning. Okay, and we start from beginning from this path. It's actually linear in a linear path rather than non-linear path. Okay, so it's linear path starting from here, content 1. After content 1, we have knowledge check 1, and then finish with that, we go to content 2. We move to knowledge check 2. It's like an activity for our student, okay, to perform. And then we move to content 3, okay, and then later after that, knowledge check 3 and the end, okay. So as simple as that. So every single content we have an activity, just a very simple activity, a question maybe, and then we move to content, second content, and then we have knowledge check 2, and then the third we have knowledge check 3. It's as simple as this, or it maybe can using this flow chart, as complicated as it might. I mean, if you can see it here. This is even linear model, but more complicated than the previous I have presented mine. Okay, it can be within linear or maybe non-linear, where student can go here and there using multi-track flow. As I mentioned to you earlier, this is suitable for adaptive learning. And at the same time, it provides activities to our students so that the learning engagement, as well as attention can be maintained. Okay, can be maintained. Okay. So and later we will move to the iTaleem so that we can design using the module lesson module. So we go first preparing the content of our lesson, preparing the content of our YouTube. In order to do so, this is step 1, which is our YouTube content preparations. In order to do so, just go open your okay. Go to, sorry, I'm using VB. Okay, so this is the vb.com website. You log in first. You have to log in first. In order to log in, just click here, login, and then normally I will log in using my Google account. You can use Facebook and Twitter and different other social networking accounts if you have the accounts. So click on Google and give the permission for BB to access your account, and then there you go. So now you are here. Okay, you are here. I think I have it. Okay, I have it here. I have it here. Okay. Again. Okay, so in order to create a VIP, you have to click, we call it VIP, VB. The videos created by VB.com, we call it VIP, which is actually extracted from YouTube, but you select a portion from the whole video length. Okay, so a portion will be selected. That selection we call it VIP. Okay, so in order to create a VIP, you click there, create VIP. Okay, and then you have to include here the video link. Okay, from the video providers, maybe from YouTube, from Facebook, Google, Dropbox, on so on and so forth. There are several video providers supported here as listed. So we go to YouTube. So I have my YouTube here. This is my YouTube. You can search any video okay, using the search box, and then find the appropriate content for your YouTube video. I have mine. This is the one that I have with me, which is a video clip. The length of the video clip is about 12 minutes, and it is about how to write a literature review. Okay, how to write a literature review. So I will select this video. Okay, and then in order to find the URL for the video, you can go from click here, share, and then that's actually the URL for the video. You can copy it from here, or you can get it from the URL box, but now it's no longer here. So you can just click from share and then get the content of the URL from here, click copy. So you have the URL for the video. Later put the URL to your VIP content. Okay, share, paste. There you go, and then paste it. Click start button. So this is actually the content of the video, and the length of the video, as we have shared earlier, is about 12 minutes. That's the length of the video. So I want to select certain portion from the video. I have decided that I want to select from minute of 6 up to minute of 10. So in order to do so, you go to minute of 6. Okay, there you go. Okay, more or less. Okay, so that's minute of 6. And then click start highlight. This is in order to pinpoint the location considered as your starter point, okay, or starting point for your video, or for the selection that you want to decide. So start highlight. Okay, it's done. So it's highlighted, and then move to minute of 10. There you go. And then again, go to click finish highlight. So this is one selected. From minute of 6 up to minute of 10, highlighted, indicating that this is actually the portion that I decided to show to my student the content inside the video. And the duration of the VIP I have here with me is about 4 minutes. It's indicated here, 4 minutes. You can, of course, adjust the VIP, okay, by clicking adjust. Okay, you can say, for example, you need to find the exact point for the ending point of your video. So you can do that by clicking adjust. Okay, so I'm happy with my selection now, and then start creating the VIP, which is by clicking save VIP. Okay, so when you save VIP, the portion has been saved as a video inside vb.com. Okay, so the title, you name the title because you should have been familiar with the content earlier. Okay, you have to study the content first prior to sharing the content to your student. So the content is actually about review writing process. Okay, and this is actually part 3. Okay, from my VIPs, and then decide this is actually from education category, and you can make the VIP unlisted, similar to YouTube. You can create a video and then put the video as unlisted on YouTube. It can be done as well in vb.com. So I just make it as unlisted so that it's actually for my personal use, and then I can share with anybody, provided that they know the URL. Okay, it's not available to public. If someone do a search, for instance, the video will not be listed. Disable watching full video. Normally, I will enable this because I want our student. I want the audience to focus on the content. If they want to know the whole content, then they have to go to a website like YouTube, the original video where the video has been extracted from. Okay, so I enable both and then click here, publish. Okay, so it's ready. You are able to share the video using link or using embed functionality. Okay, using link or using embed functionality. Normally, the one is also available. Those options are also available on YouTube website where you can share the link using, you share your video using URL or using embed. Okay, so similarly, the options available here on bb.com. So I did the similar and creating several parts for my video using the same content, using the same video. So I divide the video, YouTube video, into different parts. Okay, I have the first part, which is actually related to types of literature. I have another part which is actually related to the literature review writing process, and so on and so forth. It can be in different parts. This is actually from the same video, from the same video. Okay, done with that. Done with that. So later I will go to the our presentation. We're done with the first step, which is preparation of YouTube. Okay, preparation of YouTube. The second step is you have to plan for your lesson. In my case here, you must have a flow chart of your lesson, how it will go from the starting point up to the ending point. Okay, this is a very simple flow chart. Okay, very simple flow chart. From the content one, I have 3 contents. Of course, you can add more. Okay, and more as you like. I have only 3 contents, and after every single content, there is a knowledge check. Okay, so after content 1, we have knowledge check 1. Content 2, we have check 2, and then 3, we have check 3. So that's the whole flow. Okay, for my lesson. It can be as simple as what I have here, or maybe as complicated as I mentioned to you earlier. I showed you to you earlier. Okay, this flow chart. Okay, so we move to iTaleem. In order to go to iTaleem, well, you have to know. I mean, for our IIM staff, you have all the credential to access iTaleem. We will do in three phases inside creating the lesson module in iTaleem. We will go through the lesson settings, and then we will build the lesson, and then start using the lesson. Okay, and start using the lesson. Okay, so we open now the iTaleem. Okay, this is my iTaleem account. Okay, just decide from the list. Okay, before we move further, is there any question pertaining to the YouTube video creation using VB? Is there any question before we move further?
Yes, Dr. Feham. Actually,
yeah.
Can we use our own video to cut it in VB?
You must use the one available on the net. I'm not sure whether the video it can be in the form of if you upload your video on Google Drive, yes, or maybe on Dropbox, yes. Okay. It can be done.
Thank you.
It's stated here, all the services supported by VB. Okay, but if you upload your own video and then to the LMS, and then if you want to do VB for that purpose, so it's actually defeat the purpose. You have to I mean, share the video first on Google Drive or Dropbox, and then get the link, and then put the link here so that it can be edited using VB. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before I proceed further?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
This is Aisha from engineering. Okay. What about the copyright? I mean, taking other people's work and modify it and publish it.
You have to check the most commonly available videos. They have what they call Creative Commons. That's the first thing. Another point is that you can use what we call fair use policy. Fair use policy. I think maybe some of you are familiar with fair use policy, where you can use content for educational purposes. You don't have, I mean, you must not generate income or commercial income out from it. So if that is the purpose, it's purely education. So the content can be used based on the fair use policy for copyright. So of course, normally all of us, when we want to have our content, we'll make our content under Creative Commons. And if you find content under Creative Commons, it can be manipulated, even it can be generated and formulated in different forms if the Creative Commons is that flexible. For the one with copyright, of course, you can use fair use policy for that purpose. Okay, provided that you will not generate income or commercial values out from the work that you do. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we can move to iTaleem then. Okay, so this is our iTaleem. Okay, so inside here, which is common to different other IPTAs, if you are using the similar Moodle based LMS, you will have the similar, I mean, more or less the similar layout as what I'm having right now. Okay, so you go to the courses, just select any from the list that you want to add lesson, activity, and utilize lesson activity. Okay, from the okay. In order to edit, of course, just click here, turn editing on. Okay. Okay, once you're done with that, click add activity or resource. Okay, there you go. So you have list of activities available, okay, here inside iTaleem. And one of the item under the activities is lesson. Okay, lesson. There you go. So you click on lesson. This video keep distracting me in doing my explanation. Okay, so lesson and then add. Okay, so you just name this lesson like lesson okay, it's actually how to write a literature review. Okay, there you go. Okay, okay, done. And then you can provide description here for the lesson. So it's up to you. Maybe you have some description. Just explain a little bit what this is all about. Okay, and done with that, you go to appearance. Okay, these are all the default values. These are all the default values. If you want to provide student with progress bar, you can do so. So the student may know what is actually his status at that particular, I mean, at certain particular point, how many percentage has been completed. So you can just click there, yes. Display ongoing score, need not to do so. Display menu, need not to do so. You can decide to certain percentage, the menu will be displayed. Okay, so we have a lot of options inside appearance. Okay, that you can utilize. Okay, you can manipulate in your lesson. If you want to, since that this is a graded lesson, So once the first try completed, you have an option for the student to reattempt, okay, the lesson once again. It's like quiz, but quiz is more targeted for assessment. It can be used for assessment. Lesson can be used for assessment if it is graded, okay, if it is graded. But at the same time, student will be learning and then experiencing the content. Okay, so that's the different about lesson module. If you want to give student chance to reattempt the lesson once again, so you can decide it's under availability. Yeah. Sorry. Availability of flow. Okay. This file, let's show. Example of answer.
At flow control, Doctor?
Allow lesson to be attempted offline. I couldn't remember its flow control. Okay, show more under flow control. Okay, I didn't click on flow on show more. Sorry. So under here, maximum number of attempts. Okay, yeah. So you can decide how many attempts. Okay. To be given to our students. Okay, so that's the option under appearance. Then you go to under availability. Under availability, you can decide when the lesson will be made available to our students. You can limit the time. You can even protect the lesson with password. Okay. For those who are offline, you can set the lesson to be attempted offline. Okay. For the under flow control, you allow the student. This is the default values. Okay, these are all the default values. Since this is graded, we go to graded. We go to grade section, and under grade section, just decide what is the marks for this particular lesson module activity. We decide that we want to allocate 10 marks for this activity. Okay. So basically, we're done with the main settings of our lesson. Of course, you can go through the end. There are several other options available. Okay. Okay. So this is how you can manipulate more. I said for activity completion, student can mark manually mark the activity as completed. No, I will change that to show activity as complete when conditions are met. Okay, which is the student need to complete the activity and up till the end. Okay, these two conditions. Okay, so done with that. Yeah. Done with that. You click here, save, and return to course. Okay. Just the second one. Okay. Okay, so you click open to add your content. So inside there, you will see it's still empty. So you need to add what we call content page. Okay, content page. So back to the flow that we have and I share with you. This is the flow. Okay, this is the planning that I have for my lesson module. So I have content 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then I have knowledge check 1, knowledge check 2, and knowledge check 3. Okay, so this is what I have with me at the moment. So I will create content, and then right after content, I will create knowledge check 1, which is actually like a question, and then move to content 2, create a question again, check 2, and then create content 3, and I have here check 3 and N. Okay. So I create a content page. This is like content 1. Content 1. Okay. I can name it as what is literature review. Okay, so that's my content 1. And then the content will be taken from VB just now created. Okay, VB just now created by me. Okay. I have 3 parts of the video. Okay.
How do authors turn of a selective standalone work? It focuses on a small.
This is actually from the first.
A literature review is an objective, concise, critical summary or works to journal on previous research and show how your work expands or challenges this research, or works to fill in a gap in the work in this field. You can use the literature review material that will be.
This is to be deleted. Okay.
Most
so
useful
this is
for you to
actually
review. Following this, it's time to.
What is literature? Okay. Because I missed my my content just now. Okay. So just add the content. This is actually the content itself, which is what is literature review. Okay, and then I have literature review writing process, and then type of literature. I have three actually contents from the similar video taken from YouTube. So I want to share the first one. Okay, in order to share the first one, just open the first one, which is what is literature review, and then from here,
objective, concise, critical.
Sorry, it's actually under share. Share.
Critical summary of published research literature. Relevant.
Okay. So in order to do share, you use embed rather than copying the link. Copy the embed code and then go to lesson. Here, in order to use embed, you have to click HTML source. Okay. So once you click HTML source, paste the link, update. You have it here, the content of the first one, first part of the video, which is what is literature. Okay, what is literature review?
Being researched in an article. Yeah. A good literature.
Okay, so you have the first content ready, and then save the page. Prior to that, right after this page, it will jump to the next page. Okay, and you name the next page as knowledge check 1, as in the flow. Okay, after first content, you have knowledge check 1. Okay. Okay, so save. Okay, so you can do a preview of your content 1. This is content 1. Okay, right after content 1, we will go to knowledge check 1. Okay, as we have said earlier. Okay, so we are ready with content 1. After content 1, we will add what we call knowledge check 1. It is actually a question. So in order to add question from the option and the action here, you have several options. Okay. And of course, those options, some of them are quite, need thorough planning of your content in order to do so. we will just, the simplicity of our flow, we will use only question and content page only. Whereas for cluster, end of cluster, and end of branch, we will not, I will not share those options with you today, okay? Because the simplicity of our flow needs only content page and question. So after content page, I will add questions. So I select here questions. You have in different format, okay? So you can, it's similar to, for those who are familiar with quiz, you can add in different question formats, okay, for the activity. It can be in essay format, in matching, in numerical, short, true, false. Okay, so it's up to you. And then another options, okay, another option, I just click here, cancel. Another options for you to do is that you can add using import, okay? For those who are familiar with the quiz options under our iTaleem, maybe you're familiar with importing questions, okay? So I believe that maybe some of you are familiar with those, importing some question inside your quiz. So the similar we will do it here. The similar we will do it here. I have the question ready with me, okay? Some of the question ready with me. So I will be utilizing those questions rather than, focusing a lot of minutes for quiz creation. Is there any questions? Is there any question there? Someone asking? Okay. So I have a list of...
Doctor?
Yeah.
I have something. Actually, just now you showed to us the content using YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So can you just share with us, if possible, the content not using YouTube, but maybe the text or others? Is there an example?
It can be done. It can be done for the content too, maybe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it can be in combination, in multi forms. The first content might be in the form of YouTube. The second might be text, and then the third might be a picture. So as stated earlier, the content of your lesson modules can be in many forms. Can be in the form of video. Here, I show you how you can get from YouTube. Okay, because normally what we do, we share YouTube videos with our students. But at the same time, the video is that long. So in order to select certain portion of the video, so I utilize what we call bb.com. Okay. So
can you utilize Instagram as well, for example?
Instagram. It's dedicated.
Actually, I don't use Instagram, but just asking.
If it is inside lesson module, you can utilize picture. But I think you have to download the picture first.
Okay.
And then put the picture inside.
Thank you, Doctor.
Put the picture inside your lesson module. You can do in that manner. Okay, in that. I think for simplicity, I will just create the first content using video, and then the second content like a text, and then the third content text, so that it will make our life simpler. Okay, so we have lists of questions available. Okay, this is what I created earlier. Okay, some questions created earlier. So I will just import some of those questions inside our activity. Okay, in this case, I have the second step right after the first content is a question, which is knowledge check 1. So in order to do so, I just click expand. It can be viewed using collapse or using expanded view. Okay, collapse view is the list, whereas expanded view you can see the content from the first up till the end. So I want to add and import a question from here. Okay, so just click here import, and then decide the question in what we call icon format. I will import like the first, maybe this question, okay, and then put it inside the new one. So that one single question will be imported and then put it inside. Okay, so once done, click import. So there you go, one question detected, and then put it inside. You have it right after the content one. We have a question. That's the question. Okay, that's the question. So this is the collapsed view of your lesson module. Okay, so just do kind of amendment because you have to change from this page to next page, or else it will not move. So in order to do so, because the movement of the flow is straight away, it will not recurve back. Okay, so it goes straight away. I will not stop. It just go straight away until the end. So it just change the flow to next page rather than this page. This is next. Okay, answer 3 is also next. And then answer 4, it is also next. And then save. Okay. I think just do a kind of a copy to get the whole idea, because it may take quite some time in order to create a content 2 and content 3, and then check 1, 2, 3. Okay, so maybe kind of difficult for you to imagine because we have limited time. It's already over now, 11:35. Okay, so in order to do so, I'll just make a copy, and then create the knowledge check. Also, I copy from the first, the second, and the third. It will consist the similar questions, but I hope that you know the whole idea. Of course, you can put different question inside. You can do so. Okay, you can do so, and then change the content later. So from here, even from here, you can view the content preview by clicking preview button. This is the preview button. Okay, right from here, you can click here knowledge check 1, and then what is the answer from this multi MCQ question. So for example, I click this and then submit. There you go. So it's done because I have only a content and a question. So it's done. Okay. So you can do kind of edit the content and then put it inside like okay. So I duplicate content 1 and then move till the end. Change it into content 2. Okay. Say for example, this is types of literature review. Okay, and then the content here, I will change it to just put here. This is text, or let us say notes for content 2, and then knowledge check would be knowledge check 2 rather than 1, and then save page. Okay, so done with that, I have content 2, types of literature. I copy the second one, which is page 1 is actually knowledge check 1. Okay, okay, so I name it rather than page 1 to knowledge check 1. Okay, this is knowledge check 1. And then there you go, save. And then this is actually knowledge check 2. Okay, 2, then save. There you go. And then you have to do the arrangement. Content 2 should be before check knowledge check 2. So you move it here. Okay, so now it's actually implement the flow that we have for the flow chart. Okay, for the lesson planning of our lesson module. And then the last one will be the third content. So I just copy content 2 and then put it inside, move further. Okay, so we have like content 1, knowledge check 1, content 2, knowledge check 2 should be right after knowledge share. Okay. This is supposed to be content 3. Okay, which is type of literature. Writing process. Writing process. Put it number 3, and then this is check 3. There you go. So this is the flow. Okay, this is the flow. We implement. This is knowledge check. Knowledge check 3, the last one. Okay. So this is actually implemented the one that we have in our flow, lesson flow. Content 1, knowledge check 1, content 2, knowledge check 2, content 3, knowledge check 3. So knowledge check 1, 2, 3 is actually a question page, whereas content 1, 2, 3 is actually the content of your lesson. Okay. So in order to see the preview, you can click here, preview, right from the beginning. This is content 1. Right after content 1, after student view the content, they will see knowledge check 1, answer the questions, and then go to content 2. You have notes for content 2. You can include here video, of course, and then click knowledge check 2. You should have here different other questions from the first one, okay? And then go submit. They will go to content 3. This is supposed to be content 3. And then right after content 3, they will go move to knowledge check 3. Okay, and then answer the question here and then do the submission. Okay, so in the end, they will have the grades stated for this particular lesson, how many grades scored by the students. Okay, so student can right after finishing the lesson, the graded lesson, they can view their grades. Of course, this is the I'm now running is as a teacher, so I don't have the grade stated. If the student give a try for the lesson, you will see that the marks stated here after end of the lesson reach. Okay, so the important point is that you have to plan for your lesson. And I have a very simplest lesson flow here from the start till the end. And after single content, I will do kind of like knowledge check 1, check 2, check 3. And of course, for every single content, you can include different elements. For what I have shown you earlier, the first element for content 1 is a video. The second element, I want to include video, but maybe the times, it's too short for this purpose. So you can include any other form of information in different formats using text, for instance, or maybe you want to use picture, for instance. You want to use maybe just Microsoft file inside, for instance. You can do so. Okay, you can do so. So what we have done earlier is that we go for the lesson settings. We set the what we feel comfortable for our student in terms of the appearance, availability, flow, and then graded. Yes, we select because it's graded, and then we decide like 10 marks from the grade. Okay, so just want to make it really showing what we have done. I just act like a student. So I change my to student mode. Okay. Prior to that, I think I need to first delete whatever I have done so that you can start right from the beginning. Okay, and then again switch to student role. Continue. Okay, so right from the view of our content, I will click lesson, And then C, this is content 1. This is, I'm acting like a student. I'm acting like a student. So I see the content, and then I have knowledge. And at the same time, the progress is written here because I decided that for appearance, I will show the progress. I click knowledge check 1. Yeah, so this is questions and an answer. Once done, click submission. Okay, I move to the second content. This is content for the second. Of course, you have all the information presented here in many formats. And then done with that, knowledge check 2. Okay, and then just answer questions. Then click submit. And then I move to content 3. I move finishing the content 3, reviewing and then experiencing the content, whatever format presented by the instructor, and then knowledge check 3. Okay, so I just click randomly from the answer available, okay, for moving it faster. So there you go. So I finished this lesson, it's 100% finished, but this is my score, okay, out from 10. And I can view my grades right from here. And then the grades will be listed inside my user report, which is the, okay, this one, lesson how to write literature review. Okay. It might be somehow need time to do, but once ready, you can decide that you have an activity where it will be able to maintain the engagement of our student while they are having, while they are reviewing the lesson. But at the same time, you can set the lesson module to be graded. If I put it to be not graded, so you have to change the setting and then remove the marks, okay, allocated for that activity. Just remove the marks and then put it as not graded. Okay, so as simple as that. Is there any questions? Is there any questions?
Okay,
Yes.
I will ask a few questions on participants' behalf.
Yeah.
Let me just go through the chats. Okay, so then there was one question, Dr. Feham, on the attendance. So if you keep this as activity in the class, how do you keep the attendance? So basically the completion itself is the attendance,
Yeah.
is it?
I would say that once the student did the activity, it will be recorded. So you will know that, well, the activity might not be as a normal activity face-to-face. It can be in the form of like synchronous activities student can do in any time, any place. But once the activity done, and I have said that the activity must be done till the end, then it will be recorded as completed, or else the activity yet to be recorded as completed.
Okay.
So it should
Alright,
be recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Another question was, so you have this lesson. Do you also have recorded video lectures or synchronous to complement this, or
Well,
this is basically the whole thing?
By all means, you can have it in the form of like pre-recorded video lessons. Okay, so you record a video and then present the video, share the videos with your students. But my point is that by using lesson module, you can maintain the engagement of your students. Because the study have shown that if you let the student, okay, by himself, revising the lesson, after certain maybe short period of time, they will be distracted. Maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that's good enough. If it is more than that, then it will be distracted. So in order to maintain the engagement, every single time, after certain shorter period of time, you will just give kind of quick question in the form of quiz, or in the form of yes/no question, MCQ question, like quiz type question, MCQ, yes, no, or maybe matching. As I shown you earlier, there are many formats, question formats available. You have matching, you have yes, no, even you have AC questions, okay, inside. So it can maintain the engagement of you. Even you can set this particular lesson, it will last for how many minutes for it to be considered completed. You can set that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So just for the benefits of the participants here, this is considered as a low bandwidth activities, which is we really encourage lecturers to adopt such approach, because with live lectures, as what we have been having through Zoom or through Google Meet, it requires a huge bandwidth, which may disadvantage students with low speed internet access. And I think this really, maybe it's a good idea for us to explore at least one lesson at a time. Okay, so then we can get a feel of how it can actually complement our how we deliver the topics, because I think what has been missing all this while is that there are so many functionalities in iTaleem, but it's hardly explored because we might have some perceptions toward iTaleem due to the incidents that we had at the end of 2018. But inshallah, we are CPD and ITD is trying to rectify most of the issues. So please try to revisit it. Please have another visit to iTaleem. Please explore. Inshallah, you will be surprised that there's so many things that we haven't used effectively all this while. Okay. Okay, let me just go through some questions again, Dr. Feham, if you don't mind.
Please do.
Okay, so there's another questions on can the students redo the quiz if they are not, if they didn't do well in the first time? Can they do the quiz
Okay.
again?
This is actually graded question, which is different from quiz activity. Quiz activity is dedicated for quiz, whereas graded lesson, there are lesson presentation, and at the same time, for after certain period, there are kind of activity, I call it, though that it is in a form of presenting student with questions. So we call it graded lesson using lesson module rather than quiz module or quiz activity. Yeah, using lesson activity. So there is an option where you can enable student to retake the lesson once again, to review the lesson once again. So my option just now, I have said that the lesson can be viewed more than once. So the first run, for instance, after finishing the lesson, the student, may see that the grade obtained or the marks obtained is that, low. He will try the second try. Okay, he will do the second try. There is an opportunity for the student to do the second try and then run till the end and then see what is the score. And then you can set from the setting, you can set whether you want to view the student marks as the highest one to be calculated, or you want to calculate the student's mark for that graded lesson as average to be taken. So it's up to you. So it's there inside the setting for that lesson module.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that would answer a few questions related to redoing the questions or redoing. It's not a quiz, as what Dr. Feham mentioned earlier. It's not a quiz. It's a grading lesson. So okay. So I hope that answer. Another question is on. Okay, so maybe we can turn. There are a few more questions, but I think it would be better if participants unmute the microphone and ask directly to Dr. Feham.
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Waalaikumsalam.
If we do our question in quizzes, can we import it in iTaleem?
If you do quizzes, can be import in iTaleem?
We don't use quiz in iTaleem, but we use question from different application like quizzes or Kahoot.
Okay.
Can it be imported?
Yes, you can, provided that you provide the question. The simplest format that you can utilize is what we call icon format. This is icon format. This is what we call icon format. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what we call icon format. The one that I use here is icon format. The first line is a question along with options A, B, C, D. Okay, for each option stand for a line, and then the last line would be answer in capital along with colon, and then what is the correct one. So this is the format. You have to use this format in order to import this question. Okay, make it, prepare it in this form, and then have it imported using the import functionality in iTaleem. It must be exactly as it is. Okay, so you observe that A in capital, it must be in capital, not in small, or else the system is dumb. You see, when they say capital, you have to put it in capital. You cannot put it in small. So you must put it in capital A, B, C, D, as many as you want, A, B, C, D, E, F until the end, but must be in capital. Answer must be put in capital along with colon, not comma or not dot, and then C in capital again, indicating the correct answer from the questions. Must be in this form. So just answer the question in this format and then have it imported. Make sure that you use what we call icon format for that purpose.
Okay. Another question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Another question. After all the students complete the lesson,
yeah,
can we see like the graph or of how many students maybe score high marks, how many students fail? Is there any features to show the graph?
It can be seen right from the lesson activity itself, but you must be, well, you are instructor. So it can be seen right from the lesson activity. This is my lesson activity. From here, we have reports. Okay. When I click reports, you can have list of every single questions along with the responses from our student. So now, okay, yeah, from our student. Just move to detailed statistics. Then you have it listed here, which will indicate. I'm not sure because I don't think that the average, the error estimation, and then what you call it, calculated here. But you have it statistic in a raw manner. How many percentage, how many students opted for the first option, and then for the second option, and the rest. It's under detailed statistics from the lesson module itself that you have created.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Feham.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm Izzuddin. Can we make it like if the students cannot answer or didn't answer the questions correctly, then they cannot move to the next content until they answer it correctly?
All that depends on the flow that you want to implement. So how you want to implement? I want to implement the simplest. This is what I have. So if you want to implement it differently, where the student must do the check two and then must get it correct, so then you have to change the flow. You have to change the navigation. It can be done that way. It can be
the
done.
Options. So the options are in the iTaleem.
It's inside iTaleem under the navigation. If I click edit under the navigation, you see this is the navigation jumps. We call it navigation. We call it jumps here. So you can see the navigation right from here. It will jump. For me, I will set all to next page because it just straight away from first, second, third until the end. So I set it next page. If you want to make it recursive, movement, the student will back to the first content. If he didn't get it right for knowledge check 1, you can do so. For the incorrect answer, it will move back to the content 1. Can we do so?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much all. I think we have to end the session. Is there any other questions?
I have one question.
Okay, all right.
Can we use this?
Okay, can we have one person at a time, please? Yes.
Okay, can we use this lesson for, to give lecture and give like knowledge check, but without grading?
Again, what is that? Can we use
without
this?
grading?
Okay, so can we just have the content without grading?
Yeah.
Yes, just put it not graded.
Yeah, so if it's
just go under edit setting of the lesson, under the grade section, here. Just change it rather than graded with marks, put it not graded. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
The
And the
connection is
last
quite
question.
slow, so I couldn't see the option available. Yeah, but you can do that. It can be graded or not graded.
Okay.
Okay,
All
can
right.
I?
Dr. Masna?
Yes. Can I have that we have multiple questions and one question will come out randomly from a pool of questions.
That will be our next session.
Okay, so there will be three sessions with Dr. Feham, inshallah.
Faster. Remember, just now we have different options. I show you.
Yes.
Some of the option will not be implemented in this session, which is we call it faster. That's we call it faster.
Okay. Next.
Okay, so this give reasons for more participants and for Dr. Feham to give more session, inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Feham. And just to conclude the session,
Thank you for your participation and be with us.
Dr. Feham, just in case there are participants that have missed some of the steps, because I know Zoom sometimes can be very challenging to stay connected. So we do have recorded the session is in YouTube. So you can search for my name, and all of the session is actually in that YouTube video. I'm sharing it in the chat as well. So don't worry, if you miss any of the steps, you can have a look at the YouTube video, and then you can go through the steps that Dr. Feham go through just now. Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Feham. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, and thank you very much for everyone for being here. May Allah bless all of us. May Allah bless you, Dr. Feham, and family, and our family as well. May we get the barakah of this knowledge and Ramadan, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum jami'an. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Wa iyyaki. Assalamualaikum.